Hey guys, it's time for another round one game in May Madness, and this is going to be a replay of one of the games voted on, and it's going to be in the bracket the Arizona Diamondbacks of 2001 against the 73 Oakland A's. The two aces are on the mound, Curt Schilling for the Diamondbacks and Jim Catfish Hunter for the A's. So we'll get ready to go here once we get all established, and we'll get this round one game underway. Okay, we're ready to go here, and as usual, this will be a designated hitter game. So I'll go through the lineups real quick. The leadoff batter for the Arizona Diamondbacks and playing shortstop is Tony Womack. Batting second in the second baseman, Craig Counsell. Batting third in left field is Luis Gonzalez. Batting cleanup is third baseman and former Nationals manager Matt Williams. Hitting fifth is center fielder Steve Finley. Batting sixth and doing the designated hitting for Arizona will be Danny Bautista. Batting seventh and playing first base is Mark Grace. Batting eighth and playing right field is Reggie Sanders. And batting ninth and catching will be Damian Miller. And again, on the mound is Curt Schilling. Now, the lineup for the Oakland A's. Leading off at shortstop is Bert Campaneris. Batting second and playing left field is Joe Rudy. Batting third at third base, Sal Bando. Batting cleanup, Mr. October, Reggie Jackson, although this is May Madness, not October Madness. Batting fifth, the designated hitter Jesus Alou. Batting sixth and catching, Gene Tennis. Batting seventh and playing first base, Darren Johnson. Hitting eighth and playing second base is Dick Green. And batting ninth, the center fielder, Bill North. So the A's and Dick Williams are going to use that recently thought about strategy of having a leadoff hitter in your number 9 spot. So they got Campaneris in the 1 spot and North in the 9 spot to see if that works for them. All right, we're ready to go. Catfish Hunter against Tony Womack. The game, Oakland is technically the home team, but we're not going to use ballpark effects because we're not technically playing in Oakland Alameda Coliseum. It's more of a neutral field, so everything's going to be neutral here. We are doing the advanced rules only, no clutch ratings, and no ballpark effects. We, of course, will be doing the left-right splits, and we will be using the advanced chart for runner advancement as well as the advanced chart for fielding. Okay, all those festivities are out of the way. It's time to get going here. Tony Womack steps up to the plate. Catfish Hunter toes the rubber. And this matchup in round one is now underway. It is a 1-11. So under Womack's card, and first pitch, he gets hit by the pitch. Forgot to also mention that injuries are not a part of this either. This tournament would turn the injuries off, so he simply gets hit by the pitch. So Womack, inauspicious start here for Catfish, who is really known for his control, but he does plunk Womack to start the ball game. And Counsell's an A bunter, so we're going to go ahead and have him sacrifice bunt here. So we go to our sacrifice bunt chart on the advanced side. The advanced sacrifice bunt. Counsell's an A bunter, but with the corners in, you subtract 1 or move it 1 to the right. So we're going to use the B chart. We roll 2 D6s and check the B chart. The D6 rolls a 9, so we go to the B chart, number 9. Batter is thrown out by third base runner, it advances 1 base. So it's a sacrifice bunt. We'll call it 5-4 as Bando made the play. But Womack will move to second base as was the desired result. And there's one away with a runner in scoring position for Luis Gonzalez, the hero of the 2001 Game 7. He got that hit off Mariano Rivera to end the series in a walk-off. So here is Gonzalez facing Catfish. It's a 5-9, and Catfish against lefties, 5-9 is a strikeout. And just as a reminder, that little dot there is for when a pitcher reaches its point of weakness, but obviously in the first inning, Catfish is nowhere near that, so it's simply a strikeout. And a big one at that. He gets Gonzalez, and that'll bring up Matt Williams with a chance to put the D-backs on the board first. The delivery is a 2-6, and a 2-6 is a ground ball pitcher A. So he taps it back meekly to Catfish for the 1-3 putout, and that will end the inning. So after half an inning of play here, it is the Diamondbacks nothing, and the A's coming to bat. And on the mound for the Diamondbacks is ace Curt Schilling. One of their two aces, Curt Schilling and Randy Johnson, almost like ace 1 and ace 2. And he'll be facing Bert Campaneris to lead things off. So what Campy can do, it's a 1-6 for Campy, and he strikes out. So Curt Schilling, right on time with the first at bat. He's in the flow of the game already with a strikeout, and that'll bring up the left fielder, Joe Rudi. Tutti Frutti Rudy. And it's a 3-8. 3-8 for Rudi is a split chance. 1-17 for a single. 18-20 is a line out to the shortstop, Womack, but most likely going to be a single here. And it is. It's an 8, so that's going to be a single for Joe Rudi. So the first hit of the ball game for either team, as Rudi gets a 1-out single, and that'll bring up the captain, Sal Bando. Sal Bando against Schilling. It's a 3, all threes, 3-6. 3-6, we got a rare chance for a triple here if it's a 1 on a D20. Anything else is going to be a fly out to the center fielder, Finley. So Bando looking for number 1. Does not get it, it gets a 19. So that is a fly out to Finley in center for out number 2. And that'll bring up Mr. October, Reggie Jackson, although we're in May. We are in May, so this could be interesting. Let's see what happens with Reggie. It's a 5-5 for Schilling against lefties. A 5-5 is a strikeout. So Schilling put the K on Mr. October. And that's going to do it for the A's here in the first. After 1 complete, we are scoreless. Diamondbacks nothing, A's nothing. And stepping up to the plate for the Diamondbacks to start second inning is center fielder Steve Finley. And the pitch is a 3-4. So Finley, a 3-4, is a fly out to left field. So fly out to Joe Rudi for 1 away. And Catfish is rolling along early so far. And here's the designated hitter, Danny Bautista. And the pitch is a 1-4. And a 1-4 for Bautista is a ground ball to second base. So he grounds it to Dick Green for the second out. 2 up, 2 down, and that'll bring up Gracie, Mark Grace. First baseman Mark Grace, 2 out, space is empty against Catfish. It's a 1-5, and a 1-5 is a pop-up to Dick Green at second. So 3 up, 3 down. Go the D-backs. And we go to the bottom of the second. Still no score. And due up for the A's will be the designated hitter, Jesus Alou. Jesus Alou against Schilling. It is a 5-12. 5-12 for Schilling is a ground ball first base X. So it's our first defensive check. And we're checking Mark Grace. And Mark Grace is a rated number 2. And he's an E7. So we'll see what happens here. First check is off his range rating of 2, which is above average. So we're looking at first base number 2 and checking this column against the D20. So let's see what the D20 has to offer. It is a 5. So a number 2 and a number 5 is a ground ball C. So nobody's on base, so the C doesn't matter. It's simply a ground ball to the second baseman. And Craig Counsell was able to easily handle that for out number 1. And Alou is gone. And that'll bring up the hero of the 72 series, Gene Tennis. Gene Tennis. It's a 5-10. 5-10 for Schilling. Ground ball shortstop X. So we're going to go straight to another defensive check. And this one's on Tony Womack. And Tony Womack at short is a 3, which is average, and an E32, which is pretty high. So it's a E3, or I'm sorry, a range of 3 that we're going to be using the D20 check on. And the D20 roll is in 16. A 16 on a number 3. 16 is a ground ball B. So Nobody on base, of course, so it's simply a 6-3 ground out. Quickly 2 up, 2 down. And that'll bring up Darren Johnson, the first baseman. Darren Johnson, 2 outs, base is empty. And it's a 5-7. And a 5-7 is a ground ball, second base X. How about that? We went second base X, shortstop X, and now we're back to second base X. So it's again a check on Craig Counsell, who is a number 2. So let's check. Oh, no, I'm sorry. We did Grace the first time, didn't we? It was Grace the first time, and then Womack, and now Counsell. So we've kind of gone around the board, so I need to correct my score sheet here. This is actually going to be not a 4-3 ground out, but a 3 unassisted ground out. A little bit messy there. Should have used pencil. But we're going to go to the second baseman, Counsell. And if we look at Craig Counsell, his defensive numbers at second base, he is a 2 and an E4. So it's pretty reliable. Above average again with a number 2. So we're going to roll the D20 and check his 2 rating. And the roll is a 4. Oh, a low number could hurt him. Second base, column 2, number 4 is a ground ball A. So he does make the out. But you can see, had he been a 3 or a 4 rated defender, it would have been a base hit. But it's a 4-3 ground out. So we had a 3 unassisted, a 6-3 ground out, now a 4-3 ground out. All ground outs to end the inning, 3 up, 3 down. We go to the third. It is still Arizona nothing and Oakland nothing. And Reggie Sanders will start things off in just a moment. Okay, top of the third, Reggie Sanders, the right fielder, lead things off. It is a 2-5. 2-5 is a strikeout. So Catfish with his second strikeout of the game. That'll bring up the number 9 hitter, catcher Damian Miller. Miller, a 4-9 against Catfish is a walk. So a 1-out walk by Catfish. So he's walked a batter and he's hit a batter. Uncharacteristically wild for Catfish. Now we're back to Tony Womack, top of the order, who was hit by that pitch. So Womack again. It's a 2-6. 2-6 for Womack is a pop-up to the shortstop. Look at that. He missed all those hits he could have had in column 2 and found the pop-up to Campaneris. So 2 down on that pop-up, and that'll bring up the second baseman, Craig Counsell. Craig Counsell with Miller at first and 2 outs. It is a 3-9, and a 3-9 is a fly ball to right to end the inning. So Arizona left a runner on but got nothing else off of that walk, and we go to the bottom of the third, still scoreless, and that'll bring up for Oakland the number 8 hitter, Dick Green. So Dick Green will lead things off against Schilling, and the roll is a 4-11. 4-11 is going to be a single because we're not using ballpark effects. It's simply going to be a single. So Dick Green with a leadoff single, and that'll bring up Billy North. He could bunt. He could bunt here. His bunt rating is B. Well, they're going to let him hit away. They're not going to bunt. They're going to let him swing away here. See if he can get on base, get a hit. It's a 3-8. Now 3-8, look at this. He found, you believe this? He found, that is say 3-8, right? Yep, 3-8. All these are outs in column 3 except for 3-8. 3-8's a walk. So somehow Bill North found the walk, and that puts the first 2 runners on base with nobody out. And now Bert Campaneris in an obvious bunt situation will be bunting. He is an A bunter, but again, the infield is expecting it. They're going to be drawn in, so his A rating now drops to a B. So we're going to use that B column just like we did for Counsell in the first inning. Rolling the 2 D6s and get a number. It is a 10. So column B, row 10. Batter is safe. Lead runner is thrown out by pitcher. Other runs advances. So Schilling got on it quickly and threw to third to get the lead runner, Dick Green. That's going to go 1-5 on the fielder's choice. And North will go to second. So runner still at first and second with 1 out, but Schilling made that nice play to cut down the lead runner. Not a very good bunt that time from Campy. And that'll bring up Joe Rudy, who did single his first time up. It's a 1-3. A 1-3 is a ground ball, third base A, and that's going to be a double play. So that is a 5-4-3 around the horn double play to end the inning. And Schilling gets out of it with some good defense and a timely double play. And after 3 complete, there is no score. And now Luis Gonzalez will lead things off. He struck out his first time up as we start the 4th. It is a 1-9. A 1-9 is a ground ball to the shortstop. So it's a grounder to Campy. Campaneris, he makes the play. 1 away. And now we go to the third baseman, Matt Williams. And Williams grounded back to Catfish his first time up. This time it's a 6-5. And a 6-5 is a strikeout. So Catfish with his third strikeout of the game. Gets Matt Williams with now 2 away. And Steve Finley, he flied to Rudy and left his first time up. It's a 1-7. And a 1-7 is going to be a split chance for a base hit here. 1-4 is a double. Anything else is a single. And it is a 1, so it's a double for Steve Finley. A 2-out double at that. So Bautista now with a chance to pick up Finley with the RBI. He grounded to Dick Green his first time up. Bautista, the pitch, 4-6. 4-6 for Catfish. 4-6 is a fly out to center field. So Bautista, unable to get it done, he flies out to Billy North in center. And the inning's over, and we're still scoreless as we go to the bottom of the 4th. And the captain, Sal Bando, will lead things off. Sal Bando facing Schilling. Bando flied to Finley in center his first time up. It's a 3-10, and a 3-10 is a home run. Sal Bando just found his home run. Again, we're not using the ballpark effects. This is going to stand. It's a home run at this neutral park. So Sal Bando goes deep, takes Schilling deep, and the A's now grab a 1-0 lead on that home run by Bando. That's why he's the captain. Here's Reggie Jackson. 5-8. 5-8 against lefties as a ground ball to first. So Jackson grounds it to Mark Grace. Take it to the bag himself unassisted. 1 away. And that brings up Jesus Alou in the morning. Jesus Alou, 6-7. 6-7 is a strikeout. 6-7 is a strikeout. So Alou down on strikes as Schilling tries to recover from that home run. And so far he's done it nicely, getting 2 in a row. Now here's Gene Tennis, who grounded out to Womack at short his first time up. It's a 2-6. 2-6 is a walk. So Gene Tennis draws a walk. Second walk of the game issued by Schilling. It's a 2-out walk. And that'll bring up the first baseman, Darren Johnson, who grounded out to Counsell at second his first time up. And the delivery's a 2-4. 2-4 is a fly ball to left field B. And of course, we're not using ballparks, so that upside down triangle is irrelevant in this game. So it's a fly out to the left fielder Gonzalez to end the inning. But the home run by by Sal Bando has given the A's a 1-0 lead as we go to the 5th. Okay, top of the 5th, and Mark Grace will lead things off. He popped out to Dick Green at second his first time up. It's a 1-2. A 1-2 for Grace. Split chance, 1-10 is a single. 11 through 20 is a line out to Dick Green. It is a 6, so that is a base hit for Mark Grace. He gets a leadoff single to start things off here in the 5th. Try to get something going for the D-backs. Here is Reggie Sanders. Sanders struck out his first time up. It's a 3-2, and a 3-2 is a potential home run here for Sanders. 1 through 18, so he's got a good chance. Anything other than a 19 or 20, he has put his team in the lead. It is a 1, so it is a home run. A home run for Reggie Sanders. So he answers Bando's home run with a home run of his own. And just like that, the D-backs have now taken a 2-1 lead. And there's still nobody out here in the 5th. Here is Damian Miller. He walked his first time up. Miller this time a 1-6. 1-6 is a strikeout. So Miller strikes out there as Catfish tries to rebound from that home run. Here now back to the top of the order is Tony Womack. He has been hit by a pitch and popped to short. It's a 1-7. 1-7 is a ground ball to shortstop B. Ground ball to shortstop B, but nobody's on base, so it's simply a 6-3 ground out to Campaneris for out number 2. Out number 2, and that'll bring up Craig Counsell. Craig Counsell. It's a 3-9. 3-9 for Counsell is a fly ball to right to end the inning. So the inning's over, but the Diamondbacks, thanks to Reggie Sanders, hit a 2-run homer. And we go to the bottom of the 5th with the score Arizona 2, Oakland 1. And leading things off for Oakland will be second baseman Dick Green. It's a 6-5, so we're under Schilling, and that is a strikeout. So Schilling putting the K on Dick Green. That'll bring up Bill North. Bill North walked his first time up. It's a 1-11. 1-11 is a single, so it's a base hit for Bill North, a 1-out single for Billy North, and he can run. So let's see what he's going to do here. He's a double-A stealer, 1 through 17. And let's check the hold rating here for Schilling. He's a -4, so he's pretty good at holding runners. Damian Miller, the catcher, is a throw rating of -1, so that's a -5 that's going to come off his numbers. That would knock him down to a 12, but then the fact that he's held on by for the first baseman would knock him down to a 10. So basically we're looking now at a 50-50 shot for Billy North. Do they want to take the chance? Dick Williams is debating. He's going to do it. He's going to send him. He's going to try it. 1 through 10, he is safe. It is a 10. He made it. Barely, but he got it. A stolen base for Bill North puts him in scoring position for Bert Campaneris. Bert Campaneris. Runner on second and 1 out. And that'll bring up Campaneris with a 2-6. 2-6 for Campy is a fly to center field B, but the B only comes into play if somebody's on third. So therefore it's simply a fly ball to center field. 2 down. And that'll be up now to Joe Rudy. So Tutti Frutti Rudy. He is singled and grounded into a double play, but he's got North over there at second to try to drive in. It's a 1-10. And a 1-10, he does not do it. He grounds out to second. There would have been a clutch. Had we been playing clutch ratings, he would have gotten a base hit off of that, but we're not. I decided not to use clutch for this game. If you're not going to use the ballpark effects, you pretty much shouldn't use clutch either. So we're going to go ahead and count that as a ground ball to second. So the inning is over. So after 5 complete, it is Arizona 2 and Oakland 1. Okay, top of the 6th, and Luis Gonzalez will lead things off. He is 0 for 2. He struck out and grounded to short. And this is a 6-12, all sixes, 6-12. Catfish against lefties is a ground ball to first base X. That check will be on Darren Johnson, the first baseman. And Darren Johnson and his defensive rating, which is a 3, which is average, and an E8. So he's average with an error rating of 8. So we're going to roll the D20 and check that column 3 for first baseman. It is a 16. 16. First base, column 3, number 16. Barely made it. He just made it. Ground ball C. So he just avoided the error rating and got the simple ground out. So Luis Gonzalez grounds out to Darren Johnson for out number 1. And that will bring up Matt Williams. He's grounded back to Catfish and he struck out. It's a 2-5, and he strikes out again. So Matt Williams down on strikes again. for out number 2. And that brings up the center fielder, Steve Finley. Steve Finley. And it is a 3-11 for Finley. And he grounds out to Darren Johnson once again. So the inning is over, 3 up, 3 down. And we go to the bottom of the 6th with the score still Arizona 2 and Oakland 1. And due up for the A's is Captain Sal Bando. He is responsible for the only run so far for Oakland with his home run last time up. You'll see if he's got magic in the bat again. It's a 2-5. 2-5, it's not a home run, but it is a single. So a leadoff single for Sal Bando. He is now 2 for 3. And that'll bring up Reggie Jackson as Schilling has to get through this heart of the order. Reggie Jackson. It's a 4-10 against lefties, and a 4-10 against lefties is a single, but it's 1 star, so Bando only can go to second base. So runners are at first and second with nobody out. Normally a bunting situation here, but with Jesus Alou, who is not a good bunter, they are going to dispatch with that and stick with Alou and let him hit away, or they could pinch hit here. They could find somebody that's a good bunter on their bench. So we're going to take a pause while Dick Williams mulls over his options. Okay, and looking at the Oakland bench, they don't really have anybody that's better than a C bunter, so they're going to let Alou swing away. That's why he's a designated hitter. He's not there to bunt, he's there to hit. So 2 on, nobody out for Alou, and it's a 5-2. And a 5-2 is a fly ball right. I'm sorry, 5-2 is a split chance. 1-9 is a single. 10-20 is a line out to shortstop. The single is a 1 star. So a 1-9 and the bases will be loaded with nobody out. And it is a 10, so it's not a single. It's a line out to the shortstop Womack for out number 1. And Schilling escapes that part of it. Now there's Gene Tennis. He's grounded to short and he's walked. It's a 3-4 for Tennis. That's a ground ball pitcher A. That's going to be a double play. That's going to be a 1-4-3 twin killing. So Schilling got out of that with thanks to the 1-4-3 double play. And at the end of 6, it is Arizona 2 and Oakland 1. All right. We'll start the 7th inning, and we need to check on pitchers' fatigue ratings. Catfish Hunter is showing as a 7, as is Schilling. All right, let's see here how we proceed. It'll be Danny Bautista, and he is 0 for 2 with a ground out to second and a fly ball to center. It's a 5-5, and a 5-5 is a fly ball to left field. So he flies out to Rudy in left field for 1 away. And that'll bring up the first baseman, Mark Grace, who singled his last time up. Mark Grace. It's a 1-9. 1-9 is a line out to Campaneris. So a line out to shortstop Campaneris for out number 2. 2 up, 2 down, and that'll bring up Reggie Sanders, who hit the 2-run home run his last time up to give Arizona the lead. Before that, he struck out, so he's 1 for 2. It's feast or famine. It's a 3-8. And a 3-8, he's got a chance for another feast here. 1-2 is a triple. It's not a good chance, but at least it's a chance. 3-20 will be a fly out to Billy North in center. So Sanders is looking for a 1 or a 2. And he doesn't get it. He got a 6. So that's a fly out to Billy North in center. The inning is over. And we go to the 7th inning stretch time here. It is the Diamondbacks 2 and the A's 1. So leading off for Oakland will be the first baseman, Darren Johnson. It's the bottom of the order, Johnson, Green, and North, although we could see the pinch hitter anytime. So here is Darren Johnson to lead things off. It is a 6-9. 6-9 is going to be a single. So Darren Johnson found a single. One of the only hits that Schilling allows on that column, but he found it. It's a single for Darren Johnson. That'll bring up Dick Green in an obvious bunting situation. He is an A bunter, but again, the infield is in, so we're using the column B. I'm going to roll 2d6s and see what happens off of column B. It is a 9, column B, number 9. Batter is thrown out by third baseman, runners advance. So, Dick Green did the job with his sacrifice. And let's see here. That is going to be a 5-4 sacrifice. And that will move Green up to second base. And now Bill North with a chance to bring home a run here. 1 out and Johnson at second base in scoring position. It is a 2-9. 2-9 is a strikeout. So Billy North with the whiff. And now that's back to the top of the order, and it's up to Bert Campaneris to bring home the run here. Schilling against Campy. It's a 4-12. 4-12 is a split chance. Campy has a chance for a home run, but he is listed as a W against right-handed pitching, so this would not be a home run. It would be a single star, which would still be good enough to score the tying run. So Campy is looking for a 1 through 10 to drive home the tying run. 11 through 20, he flies out meekly to Gonzalez in left. It is a 3, so Campy has done it. He doesn't get the home run because he's weak in the power rating, but he does get the single, and it's a star, especially with 2 outs. So that will bring home Darren Johnson. And we now have a tie ball game at 2 apiece. 2-2. 2-2 ball game, and that'll bring up Joe Rudy, and Campaneris might be thinking about running here. Again, Miller is a -1, Schilling's a -4, so we take away 5 from this number 17, and that's a 12, and then 2 for being held on is a 10. So it's a 1 through 10 if Campy feels lucky, so they're going to send him. Anything 1 to 10, he will steal. Anything over 10, he gets caught. It's a 17. Campy got caught this time. So caught stealing 2-4 to end the inning, but Campaneris does get the key base hit, and after 7 complete, we are all tied up at 2 apiece. Okay, the Oakland bullpen is loosening here, and it looks like we're going to have the left-handed reliever Darrell Knowles. Darrell Knowles is in the bullpen. If I can get his card straight here, won't tear everything up. Darrell Knowles, the lefty, is loosening in the Oakland bullpen. Catfish Hunter has reached the 7th inning, or it's completed 7 innings, I should say. So he is now at his point of weakness. They are going to let him face the right-handed hitting Damian Miller. And then after that, you've got batters of Womack lefty and Council lefty and Gonzalez lefty. 3 lefties in a row after this. So they're going to let Catfish face Miller and then bring in Darrell Knowles. So here is the pitch to Miller. It's a 3-5, and a 3-5 is a single. So Damian Miller leads off with a single to start things off here in the top of the 8th. Womack's a pretty good bunter. He's a bunter rated B. So the question is, are they going to bunt or not? But the question first is, Catfish is going to be lifted as Dick Williams is making his way to the mound. And that'll do it for the Catfish. And we'll come back and check his line in just a moment. Okay, Darrell Knowles has come into the ball game as suspected. And he'll be facing Tony Womack to start things off here with Miller at first base with the leadoff single. Raleigh Fingers is also in the bullpen. He'll be warming up in case Knowles falters. But first things first, here's Tony Womack, and he is a B bunter, so he's going to bunt column C because of you always move over 1 when the infield is at the corners. So he's a C bunter, so let's see what Womack can do as a C bunter. It's a 9, so column C, row 9. Batter is safe, lead runner is thrown out by the catcher. So it was not a good bunt. Was not a good bunt. It's going to be a fielder's choice. So it's a 2-6 put out there, and it's a fielder's choice. One thing it did do is it took the slow-running Miller off the base, and did put the fast-running Womack on the bases. So let's see if Womack might be thinking about running. Daryl Knowles is excellent at holding runners, though. He's a -6. And Gene Tennis as a catcher offers nothing, so it's a -5. And so Womack automatically would be pretty much a 50-50 chance. -5 would drop him to a 12, and then the being held on would drop him down to a 10. So the question is, do they want to take the chance? And they will. Bob Brenly's going to say, let's send him. So 1 through 10, he'll be safe. And he's out with a 20, a roll of 20, and he's caught stealing. Caught stealing 2 to 6. As a throw to Campaneris pegs him. So now there's 2 outs and nobody on. He took the gamble, did not pay off. Here's Craig Counsell. And it's a 5-6. So Daryl Knowles against a lefty, 5-6 is a ground ball to second. So that's sort of the failed bunt attempt and the caught stealing both combined to take the air out of the Diamondback sails in that one. So now we go to the bottom of the 8th with the score still Arizona 2 and Oakland 2. And now the bullpen for the Diamondbacks is going, and it's not going to be Randy Johnson because they need him, if they advance, to pitch the next game. So they're going to go for, looks like they're going to have a lefty loosening in the bullpen, and we're not sure who that is yet. We're still looking. Actually, it's not going to be a left-hander. It's going to be what should be their closer, Byung-Hyun Kim. So Byung-Hyun Kim, he was the one that gave up those home runs to the Yankees in the series in Yankee Stadium. Kind of defaulted his career after that. But during the 2001 season, he did have 19 saves. So Byung-Hyun Kim is loosening in the bullpen, and Schilling is going to be using his ratings where he is at his point of weakness. So any result with a dot will now turn into a base hit. But we're going to take that chance for right now as he faces he faces Joe Rudi. So Joe Rudi will lead things off, followed by Sal Bando and Reggie Jackson. So Joe Rudi is up to lead off the bottom of the 8th. It's a 5-7 against Schilling. A 5-7 is a ground ball second base X. And Counsell, as we've checked before, is a rated number 2, which is above average. So we're going to be using column 2 for the second baseman. Checking that column off the D20 roll. And it's a 8, which means it's out of range. We're going to go to his splits for defense. So his defensive rating for Counsell, his error rating is a 4. His error rating is E4. So we're going to roll 2 D6s and check the E4 rating. And we're also going to roll the white die just in case it's needed. It is a 7. So an E4, number 7, is a ground ball A. So Craig Counsell made the play no problem. 1 away. And that'll bring up Sal Bando, who is 2 for 3, including that home run that got the scoring started back in the 4th. Sal Bando. It's a 3-4. And he's done it again. Sal Bando has just hit another home run. He found his 3-4 result again. So he's taken Schilling deep again for the second home run of the game. And now the Oakland A's have taken the lead by the score of 3-2 here in the 8th. And that's going to do it for Schilling. We're going to take a break as Byung-Hyun Kim has come in for the Diamondbacks. Okay, a new pitcher is Byung-Hyun Kim. Closed the book on Schilling. He went 7 1/3 inning, faced 30 batters, gave up 8 hits, 3 runs, all were earned. Two of those runs came off the big home runs from Sal Bando. Walked 2, struck out 5. And I failed to give the line on Hunter. He pitched 7+, 27 batters faced, gave up 4 hits and 2 runs, all earned. One was the home run by Reggie Sanders. He did hit a batter, and he walked 1, struck out 5. And right now, Daryl Knowles stands to be the winner if the score stays the way it is, and Schilling stands to be the loser. And Raleigh Fingers is loosening up to try to close it in the 9th for the A's. All right, first things first. The A's are still batting here in the 8th. Reggie Jackson will be facing Young Kim. And it's a 1-9. A 1-9 for Reggie. And he strikes out. So Young Kim comes in and puts the K on Reggie for out number 2. And that'll bring up the designated hitter, Jesus Alou. And Alou is 0 for 3, so he hasn't done much hitting. He's been designated, but he hasn't been hitting. It's a 1-7. Now he changes that this time. He does get a 2-out single for Jesus Alou. So a 2-out single for Alou. And he will be pinch run for because Alou is pretty slow. So let's see who the A's are going to bring in as a pinch runner. Not that it matters this late in the deal, but you never know. Vic Davalillo. So Vic Davalillo will come on to pinch run and, of course, take over as the DH if it goes extra innings. So Davalillo. So now Davalillo is pinch running in the 8th. So Davalillo, well, he's got a speed rating where he runs 1 to 15, so a little bit more speed than Alou, who was a 1 through 11. So get a little bit extra speed in there. And now here's Gene Tennis facing Kim. Tennis is 0 for 2, and he's grounded into a double play, and he's walked. So it's a 5-7, and a 5-7 is a fly ball to right field. So Kim gets Tennis to fly to right. Inning is over, but Oakland gets that big run from the home run from Sal Bando. And we go to the bottom of the 9th. Raleigh Fingers is just about on his way in as the Diamondbacks are down to their final at bat. After 8 complete, it's Oakland 3 and Arizona 2. And Knowles is actually going to stay in there to face Luis Gonzalez for the lefty-on-lefty matchup. And then it looks like Dick Williams is going to bring in Raleigh Fingers to go the rest of the way after that. But they want Knowles, the lefty, to face Gonzalez. Lefty-on-lefty matchup to start the 9th. It is a 3-7. So Gonzalez 3-7 against a lefty. He walks. So Luis Gonzalez draws a leadoff walk, put the tying run on base, and that's going to do it for Darryl Knowles. He will leave, and Raleigh Fingers is in. Raleigh Fingers is going to come in. We'll be right back with the pitching change. Okay, we're back. Darryl Knowles pitched 1 inning, gave up a walk, nothing else. He's eligible for the win if Fingers can hold it on for him. We also have another move. Luis Gonzalez, who just drew that walk, is going to be lifted for a pinch runner, Junior Spivey. Junior Spivey has a run rating of 1 to 15, whereas Gonzalez is only 1 to 12. So they want that speed on base. So Junior Spivey is going to be the pinch runner here in the 9th. So pinch runner, Junior Spivey. And he'll be facing Matt Williams and Raleigh Fingers. Williams has struck out his last 2 times up. He's not a good bunter, so he's not worried about bunting. He's worried about hitting. Here's the pitch from Fingers. It's a 1-9, and a 1-9 is a strikeout. He did it again. That's the hat trick for Matt Williams. He has struck out for the 3rd time today, and that's out number 1. So the A's are 2 outs away from advancing. Here is Steve Finley, center fielder. He is 1 for 3 with a double. Spivey on first base. It's a 5-7 against the lefty, and Raleigh Fingers puts the strikeout on Steve Finley. So there's 2 down. And now it's all up to the designated hitter, Danny Bautista. And Bautista is 0 for 3. He's 0 for 3. He was a 300 hitter on the year. They could think about a pinch hitter here if they wanted to go that route. And you know what? They are going to go that route. Danny Bautista is going to be lifted for a pinch hitter, Dave DeLucci. DeLucci, as Bob Brenly tries to put a left-hander in there against Raleigh Fingers, thinking that might help him. So DeLucci will pinch hit here for Bautista. So Dave DeLucci pinch hitting here in the 9th. Dave DeLucci against Raleigh Fingers. It's all come down to this. 3-2 Oakland lead in the 9th with 2 outs. And Spivey still at first. It's a 4-5. 4-5 is a split chance. A 4-5 is a split chance 1 to 9 for a double, 10 to 20 for a single. But even if he gets a double, it's a star, so the runner could not score here. But we'll see what happens. 1 to 9 is a double. It's an 11, so it's a single, and it's a star, so DeLucci, with the big pinch hit single, will advance Spivey to third base. So now runners are at the corners and 2 outs as the tension mounts, and Mark Grace, the batter, he is 1 for 3 with a run scored, and it's up to Grace facing Raleigh Fingers with 2 outs and the runners at the corners in a 3-2 Oakland lead. And here is the pitch from Fingers to Grace to 5-12. 5-12 is a ground ball, first base X. First baseman is Darren Johnson. He's a number 3. So we're going to check column 3 off of D20 and see what happens. If the D20 is a 1 through a 4, we got a base hit. If the D20 is a 7 through a 15, we do an error check. So here's the all-important D20. It is a 12. A 12 means we're going to check an error check. Darren Johnson is an E8. E8 is right here. So if the roll is a 2, 3, 4, 5, or 11, he has made an error and we have a tie ball game. We're going to roll the white die with the 2 red die as we check Darren Johnson. It's a 10. So E8, number 10, is a ground ball A. So he just missed his error, which would have been an 11. The 10 is a ground ball A. Darren Johnson will take it to the bag himself. Steps on the bag, and the ball game is over. And the Oakland A's survive a frantic rally by the Diamondbacks. Raleigh Fingers picks up the save as the Diamondbacks get no hits on 1 run and leave 2. And the final score here is Oakland 3, Arizona 2. We're right back to wrap things up. Okay, let's wrap things up here in this first round matchup. The winning pitcher is Darryl Knowles with his inning of relief in the 8th. That gave him the win. Raleigh Fingers with a scoreless 9th picks up his save. And Curt Schilling, the tough luck loser, because remember Curt Schilling gave up the home run to Sal Bando in the 8th for the 3rd run. So he took the loss there. Line score, it is Oakland 3 runs, 9 hits, no errors. They left 6. Arizona 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors, and they left 5. So with that victory, the Oakland A's advance. So we will write in 73 Oakland right here. So that means that they will play the winner of the 1941 Yankees and the 1991 Twins. They will advance to play the Oakland A's. And again, since Catfish Hunter pitched in this game, he is not going to be able to start the next game, so the A's will most likely turn to one of 2 people, either Ken Holtzman, who was 21-13 on the season, or their other option would be to turn to Vida Blue, and Vida Blue was 20-9. So that's a decision that manager Dick Williams will have to make. Which lefty does he want to bring in the game to start? Most likely it's going to be Vida Blue. We'll wait and see. That depends on matchups and who they're playing as well, I imagine. But that's going to do it from here. Hope everybody enjoyed that. That was a first-round game, and it was an exciting one. And it was one I was kind of interested in as well, and I know I at least got one request for it on the comments. So there you have it. Round 1. Unfortunately, Arizona is 1 and done, and so we did not get to see that rotation of Schilling and Johnson going back and forth. Sal Bando, MVP of the game with those 2 home runs. He was 3 for 4 with 2 homers and 2 RBIs. So that's going to do it from here. Until next time, everybody have a wonderful day, and we'll catch you later on with some more round 1 action.